Why does your vision of yourself have to be affirmed by other people in order for you to be considered a real person? Are you really going to claim that who you view yourself as is who you actually are? Wow, you're really sure of yourself, apparently. No inaccuracies, no Dunning-Kruger effect in action anywhere within you. Your assessment of yourself is just totally spot on, right? Shit, I know that the way that I view myself is often completely different than the way that other people view me. And probably quite different than the way that I actually am. Should that upset me? I mean, unless people are saying truly awful things about me, why should I go out of my way to change people's interpretations of who I am? I mean, again, if people are saying I'm doing terrible things, yeah, I'd like to clear that up. You know, that's obvious. But just in general, why is it any of my business what other people think of me, provided they're treating me decently? I mean, I can ask what other people think of me, but I shouldn't get all butthurt if people have a different interpretation of who I am than how I view myself. And I've gotten people's input on this platform quite often. It may not necessarily be my business what other people think of me, but sometimes it can help me do some self-reflection. But the notion of getting angry because people don't view me the way I view myself, or the way that I want people to, I don't know the right words to describe this type of mindset, but I think it's pretty twisted. Again, what if the way that you view yourself is completely inaccurate? Like completely wrong? Why should everyone have to view you the way you view yourself if it's wrong? Heck, even if it's right, why should anyone have to view you a very particular way? I mean, as long as you're being treated decently, why does it matter? And making people view you a particular way is not a reasonable accommodation. It's not a reasonable thing to expect out of people in order to be considered treating you decently. You sincerely can't make those kinds of demands out of people or out of society at large. It's honestly absurd. It's not a right that anyone has. Look, if someone doesn't affirm how you feel about yourself, how you view yourself, they're not claiming you're not a real person. I'm truly not understanding this type of argument. It's often said by activists that unless you view a trans woman as a real woman and not a male identifying as a woman, you're denying their existence. It's one of the most absurd arguments I've heard for just about anything. It makes less sense than the Jesus human sacrifice for our sins story. Yes, sure, unless I view you the way you view yourself, I'm denying your existence. No, it just doesn't work that way. And this sort of twisted logic being pushed by activists, as well as activist teachers in elementary schools pushing some of these concepts onto kids, onto young children, has caused some serious pushback. The last 10 years of insane activism, but especially the last 5 years, has consequences. I hope that a genuine hatred of trans people doesn't start to take over society as a result of Trump's swipe of his presidential pen. Tolerance wasn't good enough for the activists. It's unfortunate because here we are.